What the fuck is up, everybody, and welcome. I'm your host, Tony, and today we're diving headfirst into a stocking stuffed with controversy, cult status, and killer claws vibes. Imagine this. It's Christmas Eve, 1984. Families are sipping eggnog, kids are dreaming of that new toy or that hot babe, and then bam, a movie hits theaters that has parents picketing, critics clutching their fucking pearls, and of course, slasher fans cheering from the rooftops. That's right, dude. We're talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night, one of my personal favorites. The film that dared to turn jolly old St. Nick into a naughty list executioner. First off, let's set the scene. Silent Night, Deadly Night dropped on November 9, 1984. Yes, the same day as Nightmare on Elm Street. Talk about a killer double feature. Well, they didn't know it then. Directed by Charles E. Saylor Jr. Hope I'm saying his name right. He is kind of known for like wholesome stuff like The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams. This was definitely a hard pivot into horror. Now that budget, it's a modest like $750,000. The gross, dude, $2.5 million, a little over. Before it got yanked from theaters, of course, faster than you can say Merry fucking Christmas. But why the pull? We'll get there. The story kicks off with young Billy Chapman, a kid who's about to have the worst fucking Christmas ever. Think Halloween meets Home Alone, but with way more therapy that's needed. You see, Billy witnesses something horrific on Christmas Eve that scars him for life, involving a certain red-suited figure, right? Now fast forward through the years of trauma in a strict orphanage run by the iron-fisted cunt Mother Superior, played by the chillingly Lillian Chauvin, and Billy grows up into a ticking time bomb, essentially. He's forced into like this position where all hell breaks loose, essentially, dude. It's a rampage of like naughty punishments that blends psychological horror with classic slasher tropes. No spoilers yet, but let's just say the film's tagline, "You've made it through Halloween, now try and survive Christmas," is pretty spot on. It's got everything, dude. Axe welding antics, festive fatalities, and a backstory that just makes you kind of feel for the killer. Robert Brian Wilson as adult Billy nails that wide-eyed innocence turning into unhinged fury. What makes this attention-grabbing right out the gate? Well, it's not just another masked maniac. It's fucking Santa Claus. The film flips the holiday script, turning joy into dread, and it pissed off a lot of people, but that's what makes it brilliant. We'll unpack why it's more than shock value soon. Let's rewind to the origins. This bad boy started as a short story called He Sees You When You're Sleeping by Paul Kami, I'm Kami, Harvard student, just kidding. Producers snatched it up, renamed it Sleigh Ride initially, and handed the script to Michael Hickey. They shopped for directors like Sam Raimi, but they went with Saylor, who admitted he was squeamish about the gore. Fun little fact, by the way, the editor, Michael Spence, he ended up directing most of the murder scenes because Saylor couldn't stomach it. I really hope I'm saying this director's fucking name right. My apologies if I'm not. Filming happened in snowy Utah, Heber City, and Midway in just a month, from March to April of 1983. They used like this abandoned schoolhouse for the orphanage, which literally got demolished right after, and a vacant building for the toy store. The snow was melting, so they had to rush those exterior shots. Cast was mostly locals, believe it or not. Wilson was like a non-actor discovered at a casting call. His girlfriend kind of dragged him into it. And get this, the Killer Santa poster with the axe coming out of the chimney, designed by Bert Klieger, it became infamous, dude. The score by Perry Botkin, 80s synth gold, blending carols with ominous tones. There are like even original songs like Santa's Watching and The Warm Side of the Door. Yeah, cheesy but catchy as hell. Production wrapped, TriStar Pictures distributed, and then boom, dude. Released in literally 398 theaters. But then the backlash hit like a blizzard, dude. Parent groups, PTA, even Siskel and Ebert tore this bitch apart, calling out the ads that were shown during family shows, dudes. Ads got pulled like November 15th. That film was withdrawn literally right after. Protests outside theaters with carol singing picketers. It was banned in some places, but that controversy, that's what turned it into a cult hit. Like VHS sales exploded, and now it's a holiday staple for horror fans. Now let's talk why this film's positively, might I add. Sure, critics hated it at first. Rotten Tomatoes, it sits at like 40%, but the audience score is way higher. It's empathetic to Billy's trauma in a way that few slashers are, which is wild, right? His backstory isn't just like filler, it's a raw look at PTSD, abuse, and how holiday pressures can literally crack someone. One review called it like surprisingly realistic, but it's like, yeah, because it handles childhood scars. Billy's not a monster from birth. He's made one by society, religion, and neglect. Mother Superior's punishments are like on brutal commentary of repressive authority. The kills, dude, creative and festive. Without spoiling too much, we've got axe chops, arrow impalements, and dude, that antler scene. Practical effects that just hold up. Gory, but not over the top like that modern shit. It's got that 80s sleaze with nudity and humor, but a little more tongue-in-cheek. Lines like punish, dude, delivered with deadpan intensity, but it's hilarious and horrifying. It's visually striking. Let's talk that soundtrack. The soundtrack amps that creep factor, right? Those warped carols like stick with you. Compared to like Friday the 13th or even Halloween, it's got more heart. Yes, pun intended. It's mean-spirited, it's cynical, but like that's the point in subverting Christmas cheer. Oh, and the acting? Wilson sells that descent into madness. Chauvin as Mother Superior is a villain that you love to hate. I mean, she's strict, sadistic, and unforgettable. Gilmer McCormick as kind Sister Margaret adds balance. Even bit parts like Will Hare's creepy grandpa warning about Santa sets the tone perfectly. Released the same day as Freddy Krueger's debut, 1984 was Slasher Heaven. And those protests, they included Mickey Rooney, dude, who later ended up starring in Part 5. Irony, right? Fucking wild. Now we're going to be diving a little deeper, though. So spoiler, if you haven't seen it, you might want to pause this video now. I just don't want to ruin it for you, but here we go. Billy's parents are murdered by a Santa-robbing criminal, right? That's trauma 1. Grandpa's rants about punishing naughty kids, that's trauma 2. Orphanage beatings for sinful dreams, trauma 3. By 18, Billy's a beefy toy store worker crushing on Pamela, played by Tony Nero. But when Boss makes him Santa, dude, snap, he strangles Andy with lights after seeing an assault and then slashes Pamela. Rampage ensues, Boss gets boxed in, literally, manager gets axed, a sliding bully decapitated, mid-slide dude, genius. Then come the home invasions. Antler death, shocking, but the buildup is tense. Billy's like naughty declarations are campy gold. And it ends with the orphanage, with the fake out Santa killed by cops. Billy confronts Mother Superior, shouting down, saying Santa's gone. Then Brother Ricky's naughty tease, sequel bait. What are the themes? Anti-consumerism for sure, toy store irony, dude, religious hypocrisy, I should say. Nuns versus kindness, holiday trauma. It's not subtle, but it's effective. Positive reviews praise the mean and cynical vibe is refreshing. One Reddit user had called it creepy and visually striking. I gotta agree. It's sleazy exploitation with heart, tongue-in-cheek humor shines. Now to the effects. Practical effects, or practical gore, I should say, by Mark Shostrom. It's not CGI. It's all hands-on. Very great. Compared to the sequels, which go fucking bonkers with garbage day memes. I mean, this is grounded, dude. And its cultural impact, dude, it's spawned 4 sequels. A loose remake in 2012, a 2025 reboot with Rohan Campbell as Billy from Bloody Disgusting. I think Halloween Ends. X is buzzing, dude. There's posts with clips getting thousands of likes, fans calling it a staple. I mean, it's influenced holiday horrors like Krampus or Black Christmas. So why is it positive? Well, in a sea of generic slashers, it does stand out with bold concepts. Empathy and fun, of course. It's not perfect. The pacing does drag early, but it's rewarding. I am rating this film as a must-see, like right now. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a must-watch for its daring twist on holidays, solid slasher fun, and cult charm. Positive vibes all around, brother. Grab some popcorn, dim the lights, and enjoy. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Oh, and always remember to stay rad, people.